The first step in changing your pricing is giving your clients sufficient warning. So I recommend emailing them. You can do a snail mail, a mail if that is your style, but I would email. I personally recommend 6 months ahead of the price change. But if possible, give your client as much time as possible to kind of readjust. Also, if you have a big change coming, like maybe QuickBooks is changing their pricing, or a new owner, or some natural break or natural change, that's a good time to tag it on as well. So in this email, you want to be as clear and concise as possible. I'm actually going to have an example of a letter that you can use if you would like. So do come right out and say what the purpose of the letter is. Don't beat around the bush too much. But I think it is a good idea to kind of explain a little bit why your prices are increasing. And these are some of the reasons that you might mention to your clients. So first of all, overhead costs. So of course, overhead is going to go up every year, and maybe you haven't changed your price in a couple of years. So that is very natural, very understandable. Maybe you've added some services on and you haven't really charged accordingly. So maybe you give your client a phone call every month, or maybe you started doing a budget for them, or maybe you hired an assistant and now that person is providing them even better customer service. So you're improving your business as a bookkeeper and they're benefiting from that. So it's fair that they pay a little bit higher rate. You could have undervalued your services starting out. That's so easy to do when you're starting out. You don't have the confidence, but now you're able to work more quickly, more efficiently. You have more experience, and so you're going to, again, provide a better experience for them. So make sure if you feel like you're undervaluing, it probably is time to, raise those rates. As well as if you can think about competitors' rates. So think about in your area what is fair. You can ask on bookkeeper forums, bookkeeper Facebook groups. If you're doing Bookkeeper Launch, which is my favorite program for training bookkeepers, there's a link in the description box below. If you're doing something like that, they definitely give you advice on pricing, and their advice is to price pretty high. So they really are good at giving you the confidence and the know-how to charge those fair prices and to get the right clients that are willing to pay that. All right, so I'll just read you a little clip of the letter that I drafted for you guys. If it's helpful, look in the description box. I'll have some kind of download or printable that you can grab this wording and then make it your own. You can change it to be however you'd like. All right, so and then in the first paragraph, I just expressed some gratitude and then I put the reasons why. And in the very clear second paragraph, I said exactly what the changes are. So I said, we're grateful that you've been a valued client for 3 years. Each year, our expenses increase, both QBO subscription fees and office costs. We've also improved our services to now include a monthly budget and planning session. Because of this, in 6 months, we'll institute a 20% rate increase effective July 2022. Your new monthly flat fee will be $500. We did not take this decision lightly, but know this price better aligns with our competitors and the services that you've been receiving. Please let us know if you have any questions or concerns. And for this downloadable template, I also on the bottom have a snapshot of what to say if you're switching from an hourly rate to a fixed rate. And basically, you just want to communicate that this is most likely a really good thing for the client because they're not going to have surprises about what their bill is each month, and they're just going to know exactly what to pay. And again, keep it as clear and concise as possible. Make sure it's really clear what their new rate is and when they're going to have to start paying that new rate. If you're enjoying this video, definitely subscribe to my channel by hitting the red button down below. I have a new bookkeeper video every single week. It also helps me a lot if you give this video a thumbs up because that helps YouTube show it to other people. Let me know in the comments also if you've ever had to do a price increase or if you have one coming up that you're nervous about. Let me know. Then I can chat with you in the comments about that. All right, so congratulations. The initial difficult part is done. You've communicated that you're going to change your rates. The initial probably shock has worn off. So number 3 is just to send a periodic reminder. I think maybe if you're doing the 6-month thing, maybe send another one at 3 months and then the month before that the rate's going to increase. If you're doing a shorter period of time, maybe just do one other reminder. You don't want to draw like tons of attention to it, just so they're not surprised when they do see that rate increase on their next invoice. Number 4, I said, decide on your level of flexibility. So if you're willing to work with your client on a lower price, so say they're like, oh, that's way too much, I can't afford that. Are you willing to kind of negotiate that with them? Maybe you can remove some services that you were providing them. There is some flexibility in terms of, are you managing receipts? Would you like to take that off your plate? Are you paying bills? Are you doing checks? Are you invoicing for your client? Maybe they would like to remove a service if they are, if it's too expensive. And conversely, you could also possibly use this change to be like, oh, if you'd like to upgrade your services, we're now offering receipt management, or we're now offering, whatever it is that you want to add on. And then maybe a client would be like, yeah, actually, I don't like doing that, or my office manager is doing that now, and I'd rather they'd spend their time doing something else. So we will want to outsource that to our bookkeeper. And this also might be a time that it's just time to part ways with certain clients. And you might have to think about that ahead of time. Maybe you have a client that's kind of difficult and it's time to maybe either say goodbye or make it worth your while for all the work that you're doing for them. So I do encourage you, it's your business. Like, that's the point of owning your own business, is working with who you want and working for the amount that you want. So hopefully, even though this is kind of like, uncomfortable talking about raising fees, hopefully you can see it as a positive thing for your business. It's going to make you happier in the long run because you are going to be paid your worth, and it might filter out some of those clients that were not the best. All right, number 5, you need to send a new contract. So it might be possible just to do like a one-page like addendum, I think you call it, that there is a new rate, or it might be just as easy to have them sign the contract again with the increased rate. So I do have a video all about contracts. The thumbnail looks like this. And then in my paid class that's called Bookkeeper Business Coach, I do give you the contract that you can use for clients if you'd like. In that video too that I just mentioned, I talk about how I have them e-sign using HelloSign. So there's lots of options to make it pretty easy for you. And number 6, plan for future price increases. So this might be the first time that you have needed to increase your prices. It is probably good to keep a little record of what you did. So this is when I sent this is the template I used, this is the amount that I increased, so that next time it'll be even easier to go through this process. And I do know bookkeepers that put it in their contract for an annual increase. Like, it's probably a percentage that they just know that that is going to be raised every year, kind of as like a cost of living. You could also put every other year we're going to revisit our contract and your services and see if everything's working. I haven't yet put any of those practices in place, but it is something that I want to do because I think that's a great suggestion, because then it's kind of built in and everyone's expecting, oh, it's time to relook at this. Oh, obviously stuff goes up every year, so it's logical that you're going to need to be paid more. All right, do not forget to subscribe if you are new and give this video a like. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate you, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks, bye.